Hello students, welcome to today's lessons on business studies. Bring up your writing materials around you and get yourself focused for the lesson. Okay, before we should proceed, let us look at the corrections of the last lesson we had on banking. Remember, we have been talking on aids to trade, which involves advertising. We've done so far, banking. Now let us do corrections on the banking assignment that I gave. In the assignment, I gave us to list about 15 commercial banks in Nigeria. And these 15 commercial banks includes First Bank PLC, First City Monument Bank PLC, Guaranty Trust Bank PLC, Eco Bank, Fidelity Bank, Union Bank, Access Bank, Zenith Bank, Polaris Bank, Stanbic IBTC Bank, City Bank, Sterling Bank, Bank PLB, Heritage Bank, Unity Bank, and Keystone Bank. And on the second assignment, I asked us to differentiate between loan and overdraft. A loan is an amount, a specific amount borrowed on a specific time to be paid with an interest on a specific period. That is loan for you. While overdraft is a condition whereby an account holder is allowed to withdraw more than he has deposited. Example, when somebody has 80,000 and want to withdraw 100,000, and the extra 20,000 naira that make it up to 100,000 naira is the overdraft. And another difference is that loan is a long-time facility, a long-time credit facility, which means it can stay for from 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. While overdraft is a short-term credit facility. Then, this, on loan, interest is charged on the total amount. While on overdraft, interest is charged on only the amount overdrawn. That is, with the example I gave, the 20,000 excess is where the interest will be charged on. But one similarity about the two is that you must present your collateral. You must present your tax clearance. You must present your statement of account. You must present projected cash flow. These are the conditions you must fulfill before any of them should be given to you. The next assignment is to state how to use ATM card. Thank God most of you did it and you did very great work. You insert your ATM card, put your 4-pin, personal identification code, which nobody should know, should be known by you. Then the machine will ask you the language you want to use. Then you choose the option, the type of transaction you want to do. If it is cash withdrawal, then the amount and the type of account. So that is it. And the other things that you can use the ATM card to do, either to recharge your mobile phone, either to pay bill, you can use it to check balance, you can use it to transfer cash to another person. You can use the ATM machine as well to print statement of account. So far, so good. Most of you did the assignment and you did very well. Thank you for that. Now, today, we are going to the topic, to another important aids to trade. The topic for today is we are going to look at another important aids to trade, which we are using every day of our life. As we are talking, that is what we are using. That is communication. In this lesson, at the end of it, I want us to define communication. State the importance of communication in business. state the process of communication, barriers to effective communication, methods of communication, as well as agencies of communication in Nigeria. Let us proceed. Meaning of communication. What is communication in another way around? Communication is an important aid to trade, which facilitates trade by passing out information across the globe. Communication may be defined as the process of transferring or exchanging information between two or more people or parties. This is the definition. Communication may be defined as the process of transferring or exchanging information between two or more parties. That is to say, between two individuals or between an individual and an organization. So that is communication. You can talk to somebody, you are communicating, you can use letter to communicate with somebody as well. Then, importance of communication in business. Communication makes it possible for buyers and sellers to negotiate, to transact business. Negotiate to carry out business transactions. Example, when somebody comes to buy something from you, that person has to communicate with you for you to understand, for you to know what the person wants. If there is no communication, the business transaction will not take place. So communication helps the buyer and the seller to communicate, to transact business. Again, communication helps the producers. It ensures that the producers, the sellers, even the consumer, get into constant contact. From time to time, you can call your producer of the product you are using. From time to time, you can call the seller to know the goods and services he has in the store. So it can make two of you or the two parties to be in close contact. Communication, modern communication now saves time and costs. The time you ought to travel to another state, another country to deliver a message, you can do that through the use of telephone. You can do that through the use of letter writing. You can do that through other means. Communication also encourages free flow of goods from the point of production to the point of need. That is the free flow. Okay, now, take it to this place. Okay, this is the place we need the product. Okay, bring it down to this place. That is flow, free flow of goods and services from the point of production to the point of need. Communication also facilitates all forms of transportation. Communication is used to control the aircraft in the air. Communication is also used to control the ship in the sea, as well as road transport. Communication also plays vital role in products and services to be advertise in order to increase sales. Through communication, products and services are meant to be advertised so as to increase sales. Like I've told us in the topic advertising, that it is a process of bringing to the knowledge of the public, the knowledge of the people about the availability and the existence of new products. So when you do that, you let people know that your product is available and thereby increase the patronage. Thank you for that. Now let's look at methods. Methods of communication. We have 3 methods of communication. We have 3 methods of communication. Oral communication. Oral communication is also known as verbal communication. It involves the use of spoken words, the use of speeches to pass meaningful information. When you are talking, you are passing information, and it is regarded as oral communication. Spoken words, use of spoken words to pass meaningful information. Example is face-to-face communication. Face-to-face communication, as we are talking in the classroom, I'm talking to you now, we are what? Using oral communication. It may be through the radio, television, telephone, video conferencing. All these are what? Oral communication. Now let's look at the written communication. Written communication is the use of handwritten or typed means to pass meaningful information. I repeat, written communication is the use of handwritten or typed means to pass meaningful information. Some commonly used written communication involves letter writing, use of letters, reports, newsletters, yes, etc. Okay, notices, etc. Because we still have more of them. But let us stop here to explain. Then, written communication, when you write letter to somebody, you want to pass information, you can use letter, you can write letter, you can write report, you can write a newsletter, you can do that through the notice you give to the person. So in that case, what we are using, even through email, computer, you can pass information. It's also written information which can be printed and saved for permanent record. All these things, they can be saved for permanent record. Also, we have visual communication. This is the use of non-verbal sign. The use of non-verbal sign to pass information, to communicate, such as such as the use of charts, diagrams, pictures, symbols. Think of when you have a score and two crossbones across it, it conveys a lot. It is a means of communication, a visual means of communication of using signs and symbols. When you have something like this, it's a sign. Let's say a cigarette with fire on it. That means highly flammable, that you shouldn't bring fire near that area. When in any area you see such thing, it will communicate to you that that place is highly flammable. That when you bring fire near it, there is likely going to be fire disaster. So, use of red cloth is another one. When you see red cloth tied on an object, it means something. It will communicate something into you. That is danger. You shouldn't come near. In the local setting, when there is dispute over a land, the elders normally go there, use palm frond, tie around the area. That is to communicate something. So it's also a means of communication. In the traditional setting, you can see cannon. They can use cannon to communicate to the people. So visual communication is a means of using non-verbal signs such as charts, diagrams, pictures, and symbols to communicate. Okay. Let's look at communication process. How communication goes. From the sender, the message will be passed through a medium. The sender will send the message through any medium. Remember the medium, that's the methods, maybe oral, it may be written. So, then it will get to the receiver. The receiver will now understand it and gives out feedback. Then the feedback will also flow back to the sender. That is to say that when you are transmitting information or when you are giving out information, you make it very simple in the sense that it will be easily understood by the receiver. It is only when the receiver will understand the lesson or the message that he or she will send feedback. Let's say example, when I ask you, stand up, you first of all get it. It first of all get to you. Then you will understand it, then you act on it. The response you are giving is called the feedback. The response you will give pertaining to that is called the feedback. Remember that we have defined communication as a process of transmitting or exchanging information between two or more parties. We have also looked at the importance of communication in the business world or in the business. We have also looked at the methods of communication. The methods of communication which involves the oral, written, and visual. We've also noted some examples on them. Face-to-face communication, radio, television, telephone, video conferencing. We know the video conference, the video call we are doing now is so common that everybody, when you are talking, you see the person you are talking with. So that is also classified as oral communication. Then after that, we looked at the communication process, which involves the sender, from the sender, the medium, from the medium, the receiver, then from the receiver, the feedback. So once message communication is understood, the next thing that follows is the feedback. Okay. Here now we are going to ask some questions. Obiora, I know that you've learned that we have 3 methods of communication. Can you mention the 3 methods of communication? Let me see if you are very attentive to what we have said so far. Okay, thank you. You did well. Oral communication, written communication, and visual communication. That's good of you. Thank you. Okay. Agencies of communication. Agencies of communication are in 3 folds. We classify them into 3 as well. We have the night posts. Okay. The full meaning of night post is Nigerian Postal Service. The Nigerian Postal Service. Why the NITEL is Nigerian Telecommunication. We are coming to that. So, whenever you hear NITEL, it means Nigerian Telecommunication. And whenever you hear of NIPOS, the full meaning is Nigerian Postal Service. Okay, let's look at the functions provided by the NIPOS. The first NIPOS established, the first NIPOS was established in 1886 by the federal government of the country in bid to see that communication is efficiently and effectively carried out. And their services include delivery of letters. They are meant to deliver mail, parcels. We have 3 forms of letters: ordinary letters, registered letters, and express letters. Depending on the one you want, the NIPOS will carry it out for you. Ordinary letter is the letter that you just write, walks into the post office, buy postage stamp, depending on the destination of the letter, affix it on the envelope, and slot it in through the hole designated for that. While the registered letter is a letter that you register to guarantee safe delivery to the rightful recipient. Then if a letter has any other attachment, like check, money, receipt, invoice, you can make it a registered letter so as to guarantee safe delivery of that letter, so nobody will tamper it. The next one is the express letter. Depends on the speed of dispatching the letter. If you want the letter to get to the person, to the recipient, as quickly as possible, you make it an express letter. Then another one is parcel post. Other than letter, the NITEL can dispatch parcels other than letters. You can fold up anything, go to the post office and post it. That is called parcel. They can post it as well. We have business reply service. Another service they are providing provision of franking machine. Franking machine is a device that makes print of stamp on envelopes. So organizations that normally send out large volume of letters will always go to the post office. They will always go to the post office to get this machine. Before you start operating with the machine, you must first of all be registered with the post office. They also provide P.O. box, the one we call P.O. box, which is post office box, where the letters, all the letters that have been addressed to you will go in. Also, PMB, we have another one they are issuing us to individuals called the PMB. The PMB box, the PMB is private mail bag. It's also your box in the post office, where the letters that have been addressed to you will be taken in, will be put so as to dispatch it. You can come at any time. How they operate with this one? When you want to open up a P.O. box with the post office, after the necessary process, paying and the charges, the post office will give you they will give you a key, your own key, and keep one. So any letter that has been addressed to this number, and they will give you also a number, any letter that has been addressed to the number, they will use that their own key, unlock it, unlock the box or the bag, and put in the letters. At your own convenience, you can come to check your mail without your own key. That is how that one operates. Then another one is cash on delivery. Whenever you hear COD, what it means is cash on delivery. This is a situation whereby the post office will dispatch goods to various customers of some organizations, and at the same time collect money on behalf of the organization. Let's say I'm a producer of a particular thing, and I have advertised my product through the post office. Any of my prospective buyer will go to the post office to pay the necessary amount, then the goods will be given to the person. Or better still, they will bring it to your house. Then on receipt, you give them the money. So that is cash on delivery. They are acting on another organization's behalf, not on their behalf. They are collecting money on behalf of another organization. Okay, let's look at the services of the NITEL. I have said that NITEL is Nigerian Telecommunications. The Nigerian Telecommunication, which was established in 1985, very, very far back now. Though now we have other communication agencies like the MTN, the Globalcom, the Nine Mobile. So they are also taking communication, but let us look at the Nigerian Telecommunication. The Nigerian Telecommunication involves in sending of verbal communication and printed communication. They are responsible for that. Through the telephone, as you are talking verbally, you know, telephone is an oral communication. As you are talking, you are carrying out oral communication. And the NITEL or any other communication service, they are transmitting it to the appropriate recipient. They are carrying out verbal and printed communication over long distance, within and outside the country. What are their services? They have calls. We have call services. We have the local calls in between the city. We have trunk calls that involve two different cities or states. We have the international call, which involves outside countries. And we have the teles service, which involves transmitting printed messages to other teles users. Then the last one is the courier services. We have the courier services. The courier services are private organizations that undertake handling of mail and parcels across the country. you want to post your parcel, you go through the courier services to dispatch it to the rightful recipient. So, courier services are private organization which collect and deliver mail and cargoes quickly and speedily. That is to say, they are very, very fast in their service, unlike the night post. When you post a letter through the night post, it might take some days, but within hours, any letter sent or any parcel sent through the courier services can get to the rightful recipient. Example of the courier services, we have the UPS, Universal Postal Service. We have the DHL. That's where we can use Chisco, FedEx, etc. because we have some others. So, one thing about the courier services or the courier company, before they should commence operation, they will first of all be registered with the night post. If not, they will not be allowed into that sentence, this organization. This one is a government organization. They will not be allowed to do such thing. So they will first of all be registered, pay, and be registered with the night post before they should commence operation. I know very well that through this lesson we've understood that communication is the process of personal information from two or more parties. And we've learned that communication is very important in business. Without communication, business transaction could not be effectively carried out. Communication also enables manufacturers, the middlemen, and the consumer to stay in close contact, in close constant contact. Through communication, you can advertise your products for your customers or prospective customers to see, thereby increasing your patronage. Then, we've learned that effective communication must pass through the sender to the medium, from the medium to the receiver, from the receiver, then feedback will be given. Then we say that there are some barriers or hindrances to effective communication, such as noisy environment. When the environment is noisy, tell me how the communication will be efficient. It will not. So we have this as a barrier to effective communication. Then the communication agencies in Nigeria, the Night Post, Nigeria Postal Service, the Nitel, the Courier Service. Now, okay, can you tell me other services that the Nitel does to their customers? Okay, you tried. So, you tried very well. The Nitel provides call services such as trunk call, calls between states, local call within the state, and international calls. Very good. You tried. You tried very well. I applaud you for that. Okay. I'm going to give us assignments. Please, don't joke with these assignments. Like the last assignment you did, I've marked it, and we have done the corrections. And I said that most of us did very well, and most of us played with it. But this one, don't play with it. So the assignments are these. So we have the assignment in four numbers. 1, you are asked to list 4 communication agencies. You may say that, Auntie, you gave us 3, but why are you? I've explained it. I explain it now. So attach that one that you know. Then the next one is identify 4 traditional means of communication. You know, I said it. There are other means that we can communicate in the traditional setting. The third one is to state 3 importance of communication in business. You know what communication does to business setting. 5 is state 3 hindrances. What are the barriers to effective communication? Please don't joke with this assignment. Copy it out, write it, and send it to the appropriate number. Thank you. Stay safe, stay home, and stay safe. Thank you.